The patriarch Bodhidharma once said, "The path of Zen meditation does not lie in subtle or profound mysteries." What exactly is Zen meditation? This is a question that many practitioners often ask. Some believe that Zen meditation is a profound and unfathomable practice requiring years of continuous meditation, sutra chanting, and austere cultivation to glimpse its mysteries. Some people believe that Chan Buddhism emphasizes sudden enlightenment, where perhaps at a certain moment, a simple pointing out can instantly open the mind and allow one to realize their true nature. However, is genuine meditation truly so mysterious? Throughout history, many practitioners of Buddhism have yearned for profound and mystical states, believing that the ultimate goal of practice is to transcend the mundane, gain supernatural powers, and even thinking that only those endowed with boundless and wondrous powers of the Dharma can truly be called enlightened. Such thoughts have caused many people to lose their way on the path of practice. They practice diligently day and night, yearning for the day they could attain sudden enlightenment, possess miraculous powers, instantly perceive the minds of others, and foresee the future. However, it is precisely this attachment that prevents them from truly approaching the genuine Dharma. Bodhidharma, the first patriarch of Chan Buddhism, had long seen through this truth. He crossed the sea and settled at Shaolin Temple on Mount Song, where, meditating facing the wall in the meditation chamber for 9 years, he realized the essence of the Dharma. He discovered that too many seekers are trapped by an obsession with miraculous supernatural powers, believing the Dharma to be some profound and unfathomable mystery beyond words. They search everywhere, hoping for miracles, unaware that the Dharma has never been far away but has always been right before their eyes. The way of Zen meditation lies not in profound mysteries. This sentence appears simple and unremarkable, yet it carries profound significance. People often mistakenly believe that in cultivation, one must seek mysterious states in order to truly attain enlightenment. However, Patriarch Bodhidharma taught us that the true essence of Zen meditation does not lie in the pursuit of profound mystical experiences, but in returning to the simplest aspects of everyday life. True Dharma is not some extraordinary mystical power, but is hidden in every ordinary moment, residing in every act of walking, standing, sitting, and lying down, present in each inhalation and exhalation. Yet, how many people can truly comprehend such profound truth? Even in the era of Patriarch Bodhidharma, there were countless practitioners aspiring to attain various extraordinary powers through their cultivation. Thus, during the transmission of the Dharma, Patriarch Bodhidharma encountered many practitioners seeking the teachings, among whom was a young monk who diligently practiced day and night with the sole aim of attaining supernatural powers. Faced with his confusion, Patriarch Bodhidharma did not provide a direct answer, but instead used the simplest method to let him personally realize the true meaning of cultivation. One day, a young practitioner came to Shaolin Temple. After respectfully bowing to Patriarch Bodhidharma, he said eagerly, "I have practiced diligently for 3 years, reciting sutras, meditating, and engaging in Zen inquiry daily, yet my mind remains confused." The disciple has heard that the Buddha possesses great supernatural powers, is able to foresee the future, perceive the minds of beings, and even ride the clouds and mist with complete freedom and ease. The disciple earnestly beseeches the patriarch to provide guidance on how to attain this supernatural power and truly realize enlightenment. After hearing this, Patriarch Bodhidharma remained silent for a moment, did not respond immediately, but raised his eyes to gaze at the distant green mountains. The mountains are verdantly green, shrouded in swirling mist, with the resonant chimes of bells and gongs echoing rhythmically, as if the entire universe is quietly conveying a profound message. The young practitioner, seeing that the patriarch did not respond, thought that he had not heard clearly, so he repeated his question once more. At this moment, Patriarch Bodhidharma slowly spoke. What have you been pursuing during these 3 years of practice? The disciple replied, My heart is entirely devoted to the way. I hope to comprehend the profound secrets of the Dharma, attain enlightenment and accomplishment, and acquire supernatural powers. The young practitioner's eyes sparkled with anticipation. Patriarch Bodhidharma sighed softly and said, What do you think the Dharma is? The disciple replied, I believe the Dharma should be omnipotent, capable of seeing through birth and death, foreseeing the future, and transcending the realm of ordinary beings. The practitioner's steadfastness appears as if this is true enlightenment. Master Bodhidharma shook his head slowly, then gently raised his hand and pointed to an ancient pine tree in the courtyard. He asked, Look at this pine tree. Does it think every day about growing taller, closer to the sky? The young practitioner paused for a moment and replied spontaneously, Of course not. It just grows naturally. Master Dharma smiled faintly. Indeed, that is so. The pine tree does not seek supernatural powers, nor does it concern itself with superiority or inferiority. It simply follows the 4 seasons. In spring, it sprouts buds. In rest, it sheds its needles, neither increasing nor decreasing. This is the true Dharma. The young practitioner still did not understand, and repeatedly asked without receiving an answer, yet the Blessed One truly possessed great supernatural powers capable of liberating sentient beings. If one does not pursue, how can one obtain? Patriarch Bodhidharma looked at him with deep earnestness and said, The supernatural powers of the Buddha are not the result of deliberate pursuit, but naturally manifest when one attains a certain level of cultivation. Just like the pine tree, it never yearns to grow taller, yet year after year it grows, and one day it may reach the sky and pierce the clouds. If you single-mindedly cling to supernatural powers, you will never attain true Dharma. Just then, a mountain breeze blew through, causing the pine needles to rustle swiftly, while the gentle wind brushed against the face, carrying a faint fragrance of grass and trees. The Patriarch Bodhidharma tilted his ear to listen, then said, You hear the sound of the wind blowing through the pine needles. This is the sound of the Dharma. The young practitioner listened in utter confusion and asked bewilderedly, Is the sound of the wind the Dharma? Patriarch Bodhidharma nodded, then continued, The Dharma is originally formless and without shape. It does not require deliberate pursuit. The wind blows through the pines and willows, occurring naturally. This in itself is the truth. You foolishly seek supernatural powers, hoping to find the Dharma in mysteries, but instead you lose the true Zen mind. The young practitioner seems to have attained some insight, but still harbors doubts. What is the purpose of practice? If one does not seek supernatural powers, how should one practice? The Patriarch Bodhidharma asked, What do you do every day? The disciple replied, Every day I meditate, recite sutras, and pay homage to the Buddha. The practitioner answered, What do you think I am contemplating during meditation? Patriarch Bodhidharma continued to inquire, thinking about enlightenment, thinking about attaining supernatural powers. The young practitioner answered truthfully, and Patriarch Bodhidharma smiled, saying, No wonder you have made no progress in 3 years. A true practitioner simply meditates when meditating, simply chants sutras when chanting, and simply pays respects to the Buddha when bowing. If you're constantly thinking about gaining something, you end up gaining nothing. Upon hearing this, the young practitioner instantly felt a surge of shame, lowered his head, and pondered for a long time. Only then did he suddenly realize the truth. He had been pursuing illusory things while neglecting the reality right before his eyes. Patriarch Bodhidharma nodded and said, The essence of practice lies in a peaceful mind. In daily routines such as eating and drinking, sleeping and waking, walking, standing, sitting, and lying down, all are meditation. Why seek profundity and subtlety with effort? These words, like the toll of a deep bell, awakened the young practitioner's heart. He understood that the true Dharma is not found in distant places or in mysticism, but in every step beneath his feet, in every breath, and in each present moment. From that moment onward, he no longer clung to supernatural powers or miraculous techniques, but instead abided in the present moment, fully focused on each task. Gradually, his mind became clear, and his practice began to make genuine progress. Master Dharma, seeing that he had attained some understanding, further said, "All phenomena in the world do not depart from one's own nature. You seek outwardly day after day, hoping to find answers in the profound, yet you do not realize that the greatest mystery resides within your own heart." A practitioner who lacked understanding asked, "How then should I see my true nature?" Master Bodhidharma replied, "There is no need to see it. It has always been present. If you constantly think about how to meet, you end up unable to meet. It is like the eye trying to see itself, but never able to see directly. Yet the eye is always there, never disappearing." The practitioner continued to ask, "Since it is originally complete, why then practice?" Patriarch Bodhidharma smiled and said, "It is like a bright mirror covered with dust. The mirror originally reflects things clearly, but the dust causes it to lose its brightness. The purpose of practice is not to acquire anything, but to wipe away the dust and reveal the inherent radiance." The practitioner was deeply inspired and henceforth no longer clung to supernatural powers or fantasized about sudden enlightenment. Instead, they grounded themselves in reality, followed their true nature, and diligently attended to each task with care. After several years, his cultivation greatly advanced. When he once again paid respects to Patriarch Bodhidharma, he no longer said that he was practicing cultivation, but respectfully said, "Now I am merely living." Patriarch Bodhidharma laughed heartily and said, "Good, that's just right. Living is cultivation. Cultivation is living. You have finally understood." These words have enlightened countless practitioners in later generations. The wisdom of Chan Buddhism is not obscure or esoteric, but rather a direct and thorough pointing to the human mind. In the teachings of Patriarch Bodhidharma, young practitioners gradually understand that the essence of practice does not lie in seeking mystical states, but in returning to the ordinary and abiding in the present moment. Common people often mistakenly believe that only by experiencing miracles or sudden enlightenment can one truly attain the way. However, Chan Buddhism teaches us that enlightenment is not a sudden miraculous event, but a natural manifestation of a clear and serene mind, like the rising of the sun and the setting of the moon, the changing of the seasons, arriving without seeking. Many practitioners cling to miraculous supernatural powers, believing that acquiring extraordinary abilities can lead to enlightenment. Little do they realize that this very attachment is itself an obstacle. Where there is desire, it gives rise to a mind of recognition, which in turn makes it difficult to truly enter the authentic Dharma of the Buddha. The Patriarch Bodhidharma manifested a clear and pure mind, fully illuminating the inherent nature to awaken it from the obscurations caused by dust and defilements. The purpose of practice is not to pursue a particular state of mind, but to dispel lustful thoughts, allowing the innate wisdom to naturally manifest. Those who cling to supernatural powers are like continuously smearing dust on a mirror, causing the mind's clarity to become increasingly clouded. Meditation is not merely about life and death in the mountains and forests, nor is it found in elaborate rituals. Rather, it is present in the daily activities of walking, standing, sitting, and lying down. When eating, focus solely on eating. When sweeping, focus solely on sweeping. When reciting sutras, focus solely on reciting sutras. With undivided attention and no distractions, the mind naturally enters a state of meditation. The key to cultivation lies not in actions, but in the purity of the mind. If one constantly contemplates whether one has attained enlightenment, one has, in fact, not yet realized it. A true practitioner does not deliberately seek the way. yet receives the way everywhere, does not chase after the mysterious, yet constantly abides in the present moment. People are accustomed to seeking externally, always thinking that the Dharma is hidden far away, yet they do not realize it has never been distant, existing within each breath. The Buddha did not deliberately seek supernatural powers. However, due to the clarity of his mind, wisdom naturally manifested. Just as the pine tree does not strive to grow taller, yet by adapting to the changing seasons, it reaches the sky. If practitioners can let go of attachment and eliminate delusive thoughts, the wondrous Dharma will naturally manifest. True cultivation is to remain untainted amidst the world, to perceive one's true nature within the mundane, without evasion or attachment. The mind state is genuine, like a lotus emerging from the mud, unstained yet naturally fragrant. The teachings of Patriarch Bodhidharma do not intend to halt progress, but rather point directly to the essence of practice, which is no longer mysterious but found in the ordinary. Without seeking gain or loss, unaware of supernatural powers, one lets go of delusive thoughts. The mind naturally becomes like a clear mirror, reflecting all phenomena without attachment or obstruction. Thus, one has attained the way.